Many crossovers are known for being soft-riding, cushy soccer mom cars. However, there are a few out there that stand out, like the Dodge Durango with its available V8 engine and sporty nature, usually not seen in this class. If you're looking for a crossover that isn't as ho-hum, the Dodge Durango definitely deserves a worthy consideration. So let's go ahead and check out this 2017 Dodge Durango, and let's take a closer look. Now the Durango has been in this generation for quite some time, ever since the 2011 model year, and the first two generations of this vehicle were actually based off of a truck, but when they redesigned it in 2011, they based it off of a car, and now it's a crossover SUV. But the Durango also received a mid-cycle refresh just a couple of years ago, which added in much more features and freshened up the exterior and interior styling. The Durango is also based off of the Jeep Grand Cherokee. It shares the same platform with that vehicle, but the Jeep has better off-road capabilities, and it also is a 5-seater SUV, while the Durango is a 7-seater. Now, as far as styling goes on the Durango, I really do love the styling of this vehicle. It's very bold and masculine, while many crossovers in this class are very curvy and a little bit more on the feminine side, but the Durango retains kind of a truckish look, which I like. Now here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. You have your lock, unlock, and then your panic alarm. On higher end trims, you can also get a power tailgate and a remote engine start. Now this color is known as the white knuckle, and you do have smart key access on the driver's door and the front passenger door. And our trim of the Durango we have here is the SXT trim, more of a basic kind of trim level. You also do have a full-on black cloth interior and power driver seat with power recline as well as power lumbar. Now stepping on inside of the Durango here, as you can see, it's an okay looking interior design. It's certainly starting to show its age just a little bit, but I really do love the Tft Instrument Cluster and then the Uconnect touchscreen that we do get here. It's really nice. But you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 3.6 liter V6 engine. You have a full leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, we have an 8-speed automatic transmission. You also do have a rotary shift knob, and that may take a little bit of time to get used to. And you also do have manual shiftability via the paddle shifters. And I'm really surprised that there's no rear view camera. And let's go ahead and turn on the headlights. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the Durango. Automatic driver's side window. Go and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors. And you have 18-inch alloy wheels. Coming up front here, you'll find halogen projector beam headlights. And you also do have projector beam fogs. Now powering the Durango here is an engine that's found pretty much on all Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge products. It's a 3.6 liter V6 engine that produces 295 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 260 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM, with EPA estimates for our Durango being 19 in the city and 26 on the highway. Now you can also go for a 5.7 liter Hemi V8 engine, and many crossovers in this class do not offer a V8 engine. If you want a V8 engine, most likely you'll have to step up to a truck-based SUV like a Tahoe or a Nissan Armada or Ford Expedition. But the Durango here, it's really nice that it does offer a V8 engine. It's one of the only few crossovers that do. Now you can also go for all-wheel drive, and the all-wheel drive system is a little bit better than the typical crossover. And overall, this powertrain, if you're looking for a decent amount of power, the V6 engine will certainly provide it. But if you want a more power and better towing capabilities, go for that V8. Now, competitors of the Durango, you have the vehicles in the full-size crossover SUV class. This includes the likes of the Ford Explorer, the new and upcoming Chevrolet Traverse. We also do have the Toyota Highlander and the Honda Pilot, as well as the Mazda CX-9. On top, you also do have roof rails. And coming to the rear of the Durango, we have LED taillights with LED turn signal indicators and a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster. EPA estimates, like I said, 19 city, 26 highway. Total vehicle price, $34,780. Of course, you have all of your basic power necessities, power door locks, power windows, and your power mirrors, and chrome interior door handles. Interior quality is okay in the Durango. It certainly can be better, especially when it comes to its build quality, but the materials are okay. You have nice soft touch materials on the upper door panel, as well as on top of the dashboard and on the armrest too, which is nice, as well as the center console lid. But there are some places that Fiat Chrysler where they cost cut on the Durango here, especially when it comes to the gaps between the panels. It is pretty noticeable at times, but it's not too shabby, but it's certainly just average in terms of its interior quality. Now, coming to the Stairwell Design, I love this steering wheel from Dodge. It's very similar to what you will find in other Fiat Chrysler products, but it's very sporty looking, and I love that, especially on our fairly basic SXT trim level. Now, you do have your controls for the Tft Instrument Cluster, which I'll get to in just a minute, and you have your Bluetooth phone controls, as well as your voice recognition, and your audio controls are actually located on the back of the steering wheel. And then you have your cruise control right here too. There's plenty of safety technologies available in the Durangos, including blind spot detection, as well as lane departure warning, all of the high-end safety technologies. You also do have a little storage cubby, USB charging port, SD card slot, as well as your auxiliary input, and a 12-volt power outlet, dual cup holders, and another little storage cubby. This could be used as maybe as a cell phone holder. Okay amount of center console storage. And you do have your glove box compartment. Now, when you compare the Durango's interior to the Jeep Grand Cherokee's, the Grand Cherokee's interior is considerably more luxurious. There's more wood interior trim, and the quality of the materials is much better, but the Durango has more of a budget-minded kind of interior. Coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster here, again, this is pretty much the same thing that you'll find in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. But on the left here, you do have your tachometer, and on the right, you have your coolant temperature as well as your fuel gauge. And in the center, you have your speedometer. And you can go towards an analog gauge, or you could go towards like a digital. And then you also do have your fuel range right here, and then your current MPG. Then you have your trip information, gives you all that information. And then your automatic start-stop system, you could turn that on or off. Then your audio, if you want to change your audio source from here, it shows you what radio station is playing as well as what song is playing. Any stored messages. And then your screen setup, you could configure the screen how you would like. And then up there, you also do have your exterior temperature readout as well as your direction of travel up there. Then you have your vehicle info, which includes your tire pressure, transmission temperature, oil pressure, oil life percentage, battery voltage, all that good stuff. Overall, I love this setup, and it's really easy to use with the buttons on the steering wheel. Now, coming to the infotainment system and the main head unit, this is the Uconnect Interface. We've seen this head unit many times here before. Very responsive, but this isn't their newest head unit available. This is a little bit older, but your different audio sources do include all of the norm: AM, FM, XM satellite radio, external media devices like your USB charging port, auxiliary input, SD card slot, and Bluetooth. Then you have your controls. You can fold the headrest in the back if you like to help you back up. And then you have your Uconnect apps, which includes AHA, Pandora, internet radios, as well as iHeart Radio. And then you have your app manager, roadside assistance, and then your Slacker, Yelp, and then your onboard Wi-Fi hotspot, which is pretty cool. Then you have your climate functions that you could change from here. You have dual zone automatic climate control with your fan speeds in the center, and then your temperatures right here. Pretty easy to figure out, and you could change your zones from on the touchscreen here. Then you have your phone. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone and have all of your contacts stored in here. Like I said, this isn't their newest head unit available, but it's still a very intuitive and very responsive interface. Still one of the best in the business. Now, as far as the way the Durango drives, if you're looking for a crossover that delivers a little more than the typical ho-hum driving experience, then I think the Durango will certainly satisfy. The available V8 engine provides plenty of power for this vehicle, and it's nice that the Durango has the V8 engine, especially if people need the extra towing capabilities. But also the handling is a little bit more buttoned down than the typical crossover. Feels slightly more agile, but don't mistake this for a BMW X5. And the 8-speed automatic transmission also shifts pretty well for the most part. And if you're looking for great all-wheel drive capabilities, you'll find that in the Durango. But if you're looking for great off-road capabilities, I suggest going with the Jeep Grand Cherokee. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and shut down the Durango. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. The second row seats also do fold down, and you can also recline them too. Now, sitting back here in the Durango, it's pretty spacious back here. It's not too shabby. The seats themselves are also fairly comfortable, and you will find dual map pockets as well as rear air vents and your rear climate controls back here, and then map lights too, but not too bad. And then you also do have a rear center armrest with cup holders, and the seats are comfortable just as the front ones. A nice, decently plush, but not too plush where it feels like you're sitting on a couch. All right. Now, access into the third row isn't too bad, but to do it, you just have to pull up on this lever and fold the seats down, and then pull this one up to this little tab. But if you want easier access, I suggest getting the captain's chairs. And when you sit back here in the third row of the Durango, it's actually not too bad. There's a decent amount of legroom. Headroom isn't too shabby either. This is actually one of the few crossovers that can probably fit a full-size adult into its third row. And you also do have cup holders back here, which is nice. And rear air vents. Decent amount of cargo space behind the third row. Of course, all these seats can fold down. And when you fold all the seats down, there's plenty of cargo space in the Durango, much more than the Jeep Grand Cherokee. And you also do have a 12-volt power outlet back here, as well as an integrated flashlight, which a lot of Chrysler products have. Power tailgate is also optional. So with its decent cargo space, adult-friendly third row, its aggressive styling, and its available V8 engine, the 2017 Dodge Durango makes for a really good choice for a full-size crossover, especially if you're looking for extra power and extra towing capabilities. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.